let's talk about some tires. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Figured we'd talk about some tires, specifically tires for dry, dusty conditions. These are some of my favorites for 10th scale, two-wheel drive buggy and 4-mod buggy. So let's run through this. Now, one of my favorites is sprinters. Specifically we'll run the green, blue, or aqua compound. I really like the aqua, medium soft, and works great for really abrasive tracks when it's very hot out. So we have pretty hot conditions, dusty, and our track is pretty abrasive, so sprinters are excellent. A fresh pair of sprinters has so much bite. Also a lot of lateral traction. Two-wheel buggy, I find they just hook up in so many conditions. So yeah, sprinters definitely. For 4-mod buggy, a pair of front and back, you can usually get a good 3 days out of them of racing. So that would be 369 qualifiers and 3 mains, so that's quite a bit of racing. I'll usually rotate them down as they wear out into my morning practice tires. This is a set, if you can see that, this is a set that's been on a 4-mod buggy. They're about half worn. These will be used for practice and maybe a qualifier. And yeah, so excellent tire. Strongly recommend them. Originally designed for oval racing. I find a lot of the oval tires work excellent. So if you're looking for 10th scale tires for racing, and you're in a dry climate, when you're on websites, look around for the oval tires and look for tires that have good sort of siphoning. So if they water the track at the beginning of a race and it kind of dries out as the race goes on, that's what happens at our track. It dries out. They'll water it, and by 1 minute in, it's already soaked up. So I find that they will gather up a bit of dirt beginning of the race, and then they'll need to become a completely different tire halfway through. So I love sprinters. I do find though that once they start going, they really start going. I mean, that's why they hook up so well. The compounds that they're using are very high traction. It's a great tire to choose, so I would definitely grab a set of those. And if you're like, I don't know what one to get, grab the aqua compound or something sort of medium soft and give them a whirl. You'll love them. The foams that they come with are excellent too, so that's one of my favorites. If it's really dry out, I have been loving rehabs. They're amazing. I find rehabs, they just hook up. My car with a 10.5 two-wheel buggy was super dry conditions, was wheeling at the beginning of the straightaway. I don't even know what was going on. Like, it compared to the sprinters, all the fast guys run sprinters, definitely, but there's something to these rehabs. So yeah, definitely grab some rehabs, and if it's really dry, and you want a longer wear tire, they seem to just last longer. When you look at them, the blocks, they kind of make sense why they would last longer. They're not as spread apart as a sprinter, but maybe that's why there's a little more support there and less to wear out. I'm no tire scientist, but yeah, they hook up super good. I would say lateral traction. If you get caught up in the dust with any one of these tires, no go. But if you can stay in the groove, lateral traction with these, I would say, is 8 to 10% less than these. These seem to just hold when things get gnarly sideways. These though, straight line, I was having trouble clearing the doubles, and these things just, I had to back off. All of these come in rear and front. So anything I show you here does have a front 4 mod option. So excellent foams, same foams that come in the Sprinters. So J-Concepts Rehab, J-Concepts Sprinter, my go-tos. Here's some Sprinter fronts, freshies. Gonna glue them up probably tomorrow for race day. And cycle them through. Always cycle your tires through. You know, if something looks worn out, use it in practice so you can just burn it up. And you know, maybe what I do is I run the worn out tires at the beginning of practice, and then what I do is just before racing, I'll put on my fresh tires and I'll get a feel for the car, because it can kind of throw you off in your first qual. If you put on fresh tires and you've been kind of practicing with a slightly loose car, and then you go throw on the same tires that are fresh, it's going to take you maybe a lap or two to kind of correct your driving style. So I always kind of throw on my fresh tires, do a couple laps, maybe even just before the race starts, run a couple laps, get out there a little earlier if the track allows it, and just kind of throw your car down and do a quick couple warm-up laps. Odd one out, honestly, again, in the oval section of A-Main, saw these and I was like, oh, you know, they're kind of similar to the height and depth of a Rehab, different, you know, they're similar to some of the other pin style tires out there. But I saw them and I was like, oh, it's a good value, and I love DE Racing rims. You know, the rims are solid, they very durable, don't crack as much. We'll talk about those. But so I grabbed these, and these are called the Prodigy. So again, in the oval section, the Prodigy tire, they come in at $1 or $2 cheaper than some of the J-Concepts and Proline stuff. And so they come in 2 compounds. D30 is super soft and D40 is soft. So I've been experimenting with both compounds. Here is a pair that I ran for an entire race day, plus a lot of practice. This is the D30 Super Soft, and you can see here it's starting to wear out. These are just practice tires now. Man, they had so much traction, especially at the beginning of a race when they've watered the track, and then it's going to dry out halfway through the race. You know, it's a super grippy tire. Everybody's going to be running similar tires, so if you want to try something a little different, grab some DE Racing tires. Give these a try. The Prodigy, super good. So been experimenting. This is the D30 Super Soft, D30 Super Soft, and then I've got a D40. I've already got one pair of D40s on my buggy right now. So we're gonna try those. We're gonna see if they don't burn off as quick as these. They work in most dry, dusty conditions. They're definitely a good alternative. I would say that they don't shine as much as a Rehab or a Sprinter when it's really dry, but when it's earlier and cooler out, definitely give these a try. Super tacky, and the foams are excellent in them. So yeah, great DE Racing tires. Strongly recommend giving these a whirl. In terms of rims, the DE 4-pack, I don't get any sponsorship from any of this. I'm paying for everything. So what you see here is a guy who races in clubs, who pays for his own stuff, and I'm cheap. I don't want to spend a lot of money, and this stuff costs a lot. So I'm always looking for the go-to quick hitters that, you know, always work, and I haven't wasted money. So these 3 tires, I would definitely say grab them. Dry, dusty conditions, you'll have excellent tires that, you know, will keep you competitive for sure. In terms of rims, I find these are the best value, the DE Racing. What I like about them is their durability, and also they've kind of pre-drilled, I don't know if you can see here, but It's really light, the plastic. I can actually poke that through with like a 2 mil Allen key if I don't have a drill at the track, but I can poke that through. And I don't know if you like to vent your tires on the top versus, you know, if you like to vent your tires up on the actual surface of the tire or in the rim, it's up to you. But sometimes when I'm at the track, I just, you know, it's nice to be able to just punch out a rim and throw the tire on and glue it up and put it aside. So I really like these rims. They're durable, they don't crack as much. I like the offset, and yeah, super good value, so check those out. And then in terms of front tires for dry, dusty conditions, obviously in 4 mod you're going to run a similar, or, you know, sometimes I'll even run sprinters in the rear and rehabs in the front, or these DEs up front. There's no rule to 4 mod. You can run different tires and mix and match them. Sometimes the steering's a little too aggressive, so you want to play around with that, dial out the steering with a different front tire. But on 2-wheel buggy, I really like ribbed tires. The reason I like ribbed tires, these are the J Concepts, the Rips soft compound 2-wheel drive front buggy tire. The reason I like ribbed tires is they're very consistent in terms of all the way through the corner. I find with a more aggressive front tire in terms of, you know, block patterns and what have you on a 2-wheel buggy, I find the tires can kind of wear sometimes and give you inconsistent steering depending on the flow of the track, if you do more lefts or rights. I find that rib tires just seem to be the same steering all the time. Sometimes they'll chunk off on the edge of the ribs, but I still find that you can get a very long lifespan out of a ribbed front tire. They're kind of old school, but there's a reason why they work, and definitely give these a try. The ribs add a different few ribs on the outside here, so when you're really laying it down, it kind of splays out and gives you a bit more traction laterally. But super stoked on running the Rips. I've never run these before. I've usually run the other J Concepts that do not have, I forget the name of them, but yeah. So front tires, 2-wheel buggy, give some rib tires a try. Super consistent. So those are my favorite tires for dry, dusty conditions. They don't cost too much, and I would strongly recommend grabbing at least the sprinters and rehabs. If you've never tried them before and you're struggling with dry, dusty conditions at your track, you know, hard pack and what have you, give them a whirl. Thanks for coming by. If you like my content, please subscribe, hit the notification bell and all that stuff. You know the drill. Yeah, and catch you at the track.